You're going to fall in love with these amazing apple turnovers that are made with frozen puff pastry and that have the best gooey cinnamon apple filling. I'm going to leave you the link for the recipe in the comment section below, but you can also find it by visiting sweetysalado.com/en. To make these apple turnovers, we're going to need apples that are good for baking, such as Granny Smith, Honeycrisp, Fuji, or Gala. We're going to peel them using a potato peeler or a sharp knife, and then we're going to core them and dice them into very small pieces. We're going to melt a couple of tablespoons of butter in a medium pot over medium heat, and then we're going to add the diced apples. We're going to give them a stir, and we're going to cook them for about 5 minutes or until they're soft. Then we're going to add brown sugar, which is going to give it a really nice caramel texture. We're also going to add cinnamon for lots of flavor, cornstarch to thicken the caramel sauce, and a pinch of salt to balance the sweetness of the sauce. Give all of this a really good stir, and then lower the heat and simmer until the sauce starts to thicken. After that, we're going to remove it from the heat and then let it cool completely. We're going to sprinkle a flat surface with a little bit of flour, and to make things easier, we're going to use frozen puff pastry that you can find at most grocery stores. We're going to let it thaw out according to the instructions on the package, and then we're going to roll it out using a floured rolling pin, not only to get rid of the seams that are right in the center of each sheet of puff pastry, but also to stretch it out until it measures about 11 to 12 inches in diameter. Then we're going to cut it into 4 equal squares, and we're going to be using either a sharp knife or a pizza cutter. The next step is to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of the apple filling on one side of the square, leaving some room around the edges. And then we're going to brush the edges with a little bit of egg wash. This is just 1 egg beaten with some water, and this is going to help seal the turnovers. Then very carefully, we're going to fold over one of the corners of the square to form a triangle, and we're going to make sure that that filling stays inside. Using a fork, we're going to seal the edges of the turnovers, not only to make sure the filling stays inside, but also to give them a really nice look. We're going to transfer the turnovers over a baking sheet covered with parchment paper, and then with a sharp knife, we're going to make 3 cuts on top of each turnover to let the steam out while they're baking. After that, we're going to place them in the refrigerator for about 15 to 20 minutes, and this is also to make sure that the filling stays inside the turnovers while baking. We take them out of the fridge, and then we're going to brush them with a little bit of that egg wash. This is completely optional, but it's going to give them a really nice color and shine. And right before baking, I love to sprinkle my turnovers with this lovely turbinado sugar because it gives them a really nice crunch. But if you want to drizzle them with a glaze, I show you how to make that glaze over on the blog. And all I do is just sprinkle the tops with the sugar, and sometimes I also add a little bit of ground cinnamon. After that, we're going to place them in a preheated oven at 400 degrees, and we're going to bake them for about 20 minutes or until they get really puffy and golden brown. Then we're going to take them out of the oven, and we're going to let them cool slightly before serving. And that's how easy it is to make the best apple turnovers.